Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mary Matthews. I am a licensed therapist and a Christian transformational coach. And I am passionate about coaching women out of grief and into greatness because God has great things in store for you. And let me just tell you, I just love that scripture where God talks about how he uses the foolish things to confound the wise, because we can be so sophisticatedly stubborn, y'all, and just stuck in our own way and trying to figure it out, just going about our day, doing what we do, and just being so used to that we may end up ignoring things that actually need our attention. So I have a story for you, a story time, okay? Let me just tell you, I saw one of those big roaches, not the little ones that like just spread everywhere. I promise we have a clean house. We do deep cleanings on the weekends. It gets crazy in here. I got 4 kids, all right, 2 under 5. So it gets messy, but it's not like dirty. Okay. So no judgment zone. All right. But it was one of the big, like, I think they call them American cockroaches or something like that. So I saw it, and um, I remember taking my flip flop and hitting it, right? And this is this morning, fresh. This is fresh, okay? Off the press. And I was about to take my 14-year-old to school because she has a test today. I want to make sure she had breakfast at home versus like, rushing when she does get to school. So we make her breakfast, like all that is done. We're getting ready to leave. I see the thing on the wall. I'm like, I'm gonna get you, right? And I get my flip flop, I hit it, and I'm like, I'll deal with you when I get back. All right. So I take her to school, I get back. And when I get back, I come into the foyer and it smells like that Myers all purpose spray, which we have at home. And I'm like, why does it smell like that in here? Not that it's a bad smell, it's a good smell. And then I see my 8-year-old who is also getting ready for school, and she's super animated. I love her. I love just even watching her talk. You know how you just look at your kids, and some of you may not have kids. Maybe you have nieces and nephews. You can relate to this, or your friends' kids. You can relate to this. Or you have cats or dogs, and you're like, you're so cute. That's how I feel about her. That's how I feel about my kids. And I'm looking at her. She's like, Mom, with all seriousness, she's like, Mom, I saw a roach and I didn't want, like, it was alive. And I'm thinking in my head, right? Like, wait, I killed that. But she's like, I saw a roach and it was alive. And I grabbed the spray because I didn't want to touch it with a napkin. And I sprayed it and I went to go get a napkin. So she went to go get a napkin. When she went to go get the napkin, the roach was gone, right? So right next to our foyer is the living room. And apparently the roach made its way into the living room where the boys are. So I have 2 boys in there, one that's 1, one that's 3. Okay. Mind you, my mom is in the house, but she's in her room. And she helps us with the kids, but she's asleep. All right. So that being said, I'm like, the story gets worse, y'all. It gets worse. The roach made its way into the living room. And then she said, it was on Jesse. I think you're going to have to give him a shower. And I was like, did you spray Jesse, Ava? And she was like, no, I didn't spray him, but the roach was on him. And I'm like, how did the roach that I hit with my shoe get on Jesse? Like, how did it even make its way? Because that's at least like, I don't know, 10 feet. How did it make its way over there? Mm. Ooh, y'all. All right. So the spiritual revelation is bubbling in my stomach right now. So it made its way into the living room. So she goes into the living room. And I don't know. She gets it off of him, I guess, and then she starts spraying. But then she also gets a shoe because I see a shoe right there, and she killed it. She said she killed it, and she got the napkin and she put it away. Now, initially, I remember some sort of judgmental thoughts, like, or sort of, some feedback that I wanted to give her, like, why did you do it this way? Like, you could have just done it a different way. Like, you could have killed it out there. You could have gotten a shoe out there. But I didn't say all of that. I just remember wondering why she used the spray. I said that. I was like, well, why did you use the spray? Even though she had explained it, I still had that question in my head, not because I was really inquisitive, but because I, in my heart, was critical of her process. Okay. Now I caught it. I caught what I was doing. And I was like, hold up. She killed it though. And I said, you know what? I appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing it. I said, good job. Good job. Why am I criticized? Like, why be critical? Right. So once I said good job, y'all, it's like my words, your words carry weight, whether we're being critical, whether we're commending, they carry weight. She captured the words, the good words, right? She captured, because I pivoted, she captured it. And she said, you know what, mom? I'm proud of myself. It's like, okay. She was like, I'm afraid of those things, but because I love my brothers, and she just talks with her hands. It's like, because I love my brothers, I killed it. And that's when it really hit me. The mystery, the revelation behind the roach that I thought died, that didn't die, it hit me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm proud of you too. I thank you. Here's the mystery behind it, y'all. What we don't deal with as people who become parents, we'll begin to deal with the little people around us. Okay. There are some challenges and issues. There are traumas that I've experienced in my childhood that, sometimes you think, okay, it doesn't bother me now that it's 30 years. I'm 30 years removed from it. I'm 60 years removed from it. I'm 5 years removed from it. I'm 5 months removed from it. Oh, I'm over it. But suddenly sometimes you start to talk about it, or you start to be remembered by it, and then there are tears, or it's hard to even to get the words out. Okay, not because I'm not talking about, oh, I'm crying because I'm so, look at how far I've come. No, it's like I'm crying because it still hurts type of cry. It still hurts to think about, still hurts to talk about, right? And sometimes we think we're over it, or we've even forgiven the slander, the offense, the betrayals, the things that people said, but it's still bottled up on the inside of it, right? On the inside of you. And unless you deal with that thing will continue to deal with you, and it will show up. And sometimes it doesn't mean it's showing up every day. What's in your closet you don't use every single day. You open it maybe once or twice a day, and you may just pick one thing out, right? And you wear that thing for that day. But there are some things that are on the floor on this side or on that side that you've not seen in a long time. And just because you haven't seen it in a long time doesn't mean that it's not still there. Okay. Y'all, here's the thing. Here is the kicker. Because when I really think about it, in all honesty, before I saw that roach and I hit it, right? Because I had ignored it initially. Like I saw it and then I hit it because I had things to do. I'm like, okay, I got things to do. I got you. I'm gonna deal with you. But even before I decided to deal with it, like I saw it and like just went and did something else, right? I saw it again, actually. So 2 times I saw it and went and did something else. And then I came back and hit it. I come back and then it's gone, but it's not gone. It's like on my kid. And I'm like, why? Like, and of course, now I'm getting like napkins and like cleaning my kid off. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, y'all, it's so important. I just want this to be an invitation. I know, like, I'm trying to keep it lighthearted and funny, because they're like, when we talk about trauma, we're talking about sexual trauma, emotional trauma, physical abuse, betrayals, perfectionism, anxiety, depression. There are some generational issues and challenges that didn't even start with you. That's the thing. It didn't start with you, but it can stop with you. And you know that you were impacted by how invalidating the big people were in your life. So it's not even to blame them. It's to understand that we can end up inadvertently having that irritation when we feel misunderstood, or, stonewall, or become silent, or end up transmitting pain that was never transformed out of us, right? So, y'all, that being said, you are a generational curse breaker. You are meant to establish new patterns when you apply new principles that are going to help you shift out of your pain. And there's a difference even between someone who just cares about you, right? Who you may talk with, or if they're or someone you may trauma bond with, because misery does like company and can keep you mediocre and complacent. But there's also a difference between someone who cares and someone who cares enough to help you and that is also an expert in helping you. So that being said, I just want to invite you all to invest in your personal growth. You know that there's greatness on the inside of you, but there's grief on the inside of you as well. We got to deal with that grief so it can stop dealing with you. If when you think of grief, grief is loss. Grief is like what you missed out on. Some of you think about your childhood and it's like, man, I missed out on this. I missed out on this. I was an early parent. I had these responsibilities. Now there's good that did come from that. Okay. But also there was bad that did happen. And just because we don't talk about it, doesn't mean that it's not taking up space or residence within you that you need to tell somebody. You need to be able to open up. And that is even a process of building rapport with a professional that can help understand, well, why do I show up in the way that I do? Whether it's at work, whether it's in relationships and marriages and in your friend with your finances, those are blueprints that have been handed to you. Okay. But as a therapist, as a licensed therapist and a coach, I just want to invite you into your new beginning and your healing journey, which needs your yes. There's a real version of you that is ready to rise up, but it's time to deal with what is in the closet. Because how long? I mean, because again, many times we have so much to do and we're such busy bodies that we can be oblivious to the emotional suffering and how stifled we are emotionally because we do and we distract and we do and we distract ourselves from the very area that needs development in. I just want to tell you, whoever is watching today, I want to tell you, number one, God does love you. John 10:10 says, the thief comes not but to steal, kill, and destroy. But I came, being Jesus, that you may have life and life more abundantly. Maybe you don't know Jesus like that. Maybe you've been turned off by religious people. Well, he is not religious. He's all about relationship. He does love you. And this is not something that you're seeing by coincidence. This is a divine connection and divine intervention because he makes everything beautiful in his time. Let me just tell you, it is your time to be made beautiful. It's your time to deal with what's on the inside so you can become all that God has already designed you to be. Y'all, please share the video. Liking the video costs you nothing, but it will help get this message out there to whoever needs to hear it. You all be blessed in your minds and out loud. Just say, I am loved. I belonged. I belong. I am open to receiving the help that I need. Come on, say it again. I am loved. I belong. And I am open to receiving the help that I need. You all take care and be blessed. Bye.